Why is it that um, it's pretty difficult to get a simple strategy from a mentor and trade it profitably? You know, a lot of mentors out there, a lot of traders out there, they just think all they just need to do is, buy a course, buy a mentorship course, and start, and they will become profitable, right? But the reality is, what they find out is, no matter how many, how many mentorship programs you buy, you might not be able to make money from their method. Okay, and the reason is because of this word that is called discretion. Discretion, right? If it were that easy to just get a strategy from a mentor and then you become profitable, everybody will, everybody will be making money, riding around with a Lambo and a Ferrari and everything. But it's not really that easy, right? You can't just um, get a strategy from someone and start working it, okay? There's something called discretion in trading, right? Right? There are two ways which people can approach strategies. Number one is get the strategy and just follow the rules blindly, like a robot, right? Just trade everything. Whenever the strategy appears, maybe anytime it appears, any day it appears, you trade it, right? That is one way of approaching it. Another one is through discretion, okay? So there might be specific days whereby the strategy actually has an edge, or specific times where the strategy has an edge. So you will need to now trade a strategy at those times, or at those days, on those days where it has an edge. So you might discover that a strategy that you collected from a mentor might only work maybe 2 days in a week. Okay, so after back testing it, you might find out that if you remove Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday and Thursday, the strategy will start making money. Okay, it will make money on, okay, let's say it works Monday and Friday. Okay, so you remove Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and you discover that the strategy only works if you trade it on Monday and Friday. You understand? That is discretion. You are applying your own discretion to that strategy. Without that discretion, the strategy is not going to work. Okay, and the same way, there are some strategies that you might get it from the mentor. The mentor might not tell you anything. He might just tell you, enter here, put your stop loss here, put your target here. But he will not tell you the discretion that he applies. Okay, so that mentor might only be trading the strategy during the first hour of the New York session. So if you just collect the strategy and you start trading it every time, maybe you trade it during Asian session, during London session, and New York session, what you discover is that the strategy will not work. Okay, so you will need to filter out London and Asian session for the strategy to start working. Okay, so when you start treating the strategy during only the 1 hour of the New York session, then it will work. But if you add other times, maybe you trade the second hour of the New York session, it might not work. So this is the reason why you need to also backtest. Okay, so when you are backtesting, in your backtesting column, don't just say you want to backtest a strategy and you are trading it and you are backtesting. In your backtesting column, you need other columns that will tell you days of the week. Like in your backtesting, when you're backtesting, right, you have entry, um, entry, entry. You have your entry time, entry date, you know, the P&L and all that thing. Also, try to include variables that will help you to filter out some things. Okay, like days of the week. Okay, the day of the week when the strategy, when you actually form the strategy. So you try and record day of the week. Okay, make sure you record day of the week, the time where the strategy is occurring, some filters, okay, some confluences. So let's say you are trading a support and resistance strategy, some confluences like trend line or moving averages or whatever, maybe indicator confluences or um, price action confluences that you might need to add. Okay, price action. So you add everything to the column so that this thing will help you to filter out the time, because you might finish backtesting the strategy and it does not make any money. Okay, but when you apply this filter, when you apply it on day of the when you filter out only some days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you might find out that the strategy works. Okay, so you need to so after you backtested everything, you have like 100 or 200 data, then you can now start filtering out those times or those days where it doesn't work. Okay, so you might find out that this strategy actually loses money on Mondays, so you remove Mondays. Okay, or you might find out that okay, this strategy does not work when you trade it by 4 p.m. So you filter, you check 4 p.m. and see if all those setups that you took during 4 p.m. resulted in a profit. If it doesn't result, then you feel that, so after all those filtering, then if the strategy works, then you have a profitable strategy, right? Then you can now trade it into the future. But you have to avoid all setups that occurs during those times and those days. So when you avoid those, then you'll be able to make money. Okay, because what happens is when traders trade, okay, when they are trading, not all the setups occur equally. So they will be taking all the setups and their equity curve looks like something like this, or moving down a little bit in fact. But when they remove all those times or all those days when the setups does not work, then the equity curve will start moving up that way. Okay, when you remove those days and those times when the strategy does not work, then you have an equity curve that looks like that. Okay, and the more filters you apply, the better. Okay, so uh, if you are trading into the future, you might keep on applying more filters that will help you to refine the strategy even more. Okay, so you will find out that some strategies will give you an equity curve that looks like this, that's even better than the previous one that I just showed you. Okay, so this is even a more profitable strategy than the previous one. This is because of what? Discretion. The more discretion you apply, the better the strategy. Okay, but if you just trade it all the time, it might even lose you money, right? So so that is it. So you should try and learn how to apply discretion in your trading, and don't just clip a strategy on the internet or from someone and trade it blindly. Okay, because you think it's going to work, they told you it's going to work. That person has been trading the strategy for maybe 20 years or 10 years, and they've applied a lot of filters. Okay, they know when not to trade it and when to trade it, but they will not have the time to tell you all those things. Okay, they will just tell you the setup, and if you apply the strategy, it will not work for you. So you yourself, you need to go and you need to go and break into the data of that strategy, and then you crunch the data and find out periods when it doesn't work, and then you filter out those periods, and then you can start trading it. Okay, so that's it.